Every study they've ever done to determine who's smarter, men or women, every study comes back and says women are smarter. Every fucking one. Ladies, you shouldn't be applauding that. You know I'm an asshole. You know this isn't gonna end well. Did he say I'm pretty? Oh my God. Get out of the relationship. If every study says that you're smarter, okay? The question you should be asking yourself was, we're so goddamn smart, how are we in the situation we're in? Well, you're in the situation you're in not because of guys like me, as much as you want to blame me. You know, ladies, you can't tell me, you never drove by a sports bar on a football Sunday and looked at the humanity in there? All those dumb guys with their big beer bellies bumping shit. Hey, he's on my fantasy team! Up top, yeah! You want to get some more mozzarella sticks? Yeah. As a woman with your bigger brain, you never looked in there and thought to yourself, I'm fucking losing to that? I'm losing to that.
Are you gonna have at 41, you still gonna have the bachelor party? Do you really need to, man? I mean, you're 41, you just lived the bachelor party for fucking 20 years, right? You did it. You do what? You play place? Yeah, you melt it. Yeah, I can't go to titty bars anymore. I just remember those. You can't see him, you're blind? Jeez, well, thank you for fucking bringing it all the way down to your goddamn... I didn't ask you about your eyesight. Jesus Christ, you got problems with your kidneys too? We can just turn this into a benefit? What the fuck is wrong with this guy? He fucking can't see, he's fucking flip-flopping the words. Who is this poor woman who's marrying you on Saturday? In a good way, Tom, like, it's probably why you stayed single so long. Do you ever like, the best man is blind too? Really? Yeah, I get it. Well, first of all, you're not fucking blind. You know what? You're looking around too much. You're not doing this shit. You're like, first of all, you were blind. What the fuck are you looking back at him for? You need to work on your fake blind shit. Jesus Christ. You really tried to make me look like an asshole there. I couldn't see with the fucking lights. All of a sudden I see this guy, this blind guy. Oh, with this guy right here with the red shirt. I mean, with the clothing. Where are you again? Just direct my head on. There you are. Jesus Christ. Is that what you do? You do shit like that? I appreciate a good scam, man. That's something fucking better than that. You know what I mean?
There's no scam, dude. It's for real, man.
What?
There's no scam.
There's no scam?
You know what? We're all blind, man.
You guys are all fucking blind. You don't look blind. You got the fucking glasses on. I am believing it. Well, you know, most comics would have just fucking left it after you said I'm blind. Sorry. And I literally delved into it to the point that somebody at the table just said, this is my cane right here. I mean, you want me to bump into some shit? I mean, I don't know what I gotta do here to prove to you that I can't fucking see, because I can't fucking see. Jesus Christ. All right, I got it. You can't see. You proved it to me. You're blind. This woman has her hand over her mouth like I made her blind. I didn't make her fucking blind. All right.
One time she was watching this show, it was like a poor excuse for The View, and they started talking about domestic violence, right? For the 9 millionth time this year, they're talking about domestic violence, just in case, you know, you didn't get the memo, you know? Evidently, you know, just some people didn't get it. It's not okay to slam your wife's head into the cupboard drawers because she didn't dry the can opener off properly, you know? It's gonna fucking rust, right? How do you not know not to do that shit? Do they really have to keep talking about it? It's like wife beaters watching. Oh, fuck! Ah! Now I get it. Ups a daisy, sweetheart. Here we go. There you go. Oh. So at the end of the hour, they come to the logical conclusion. They're like, there is no reason to hit a woman. There is no reason to hit a woman. And I was just like, really? I could give you like 17 right off the top of my head. You could wake me from a drunken stupor, I could still give you like 9. Dude, there's plenty of reasons to hit a woman. You just don't do it. But to sit there and suggest that there's no reason. Dude, the level of ego behind that statement. What are you, levitating above the rest of us? You're never annoying? Women, how many times have you thought about slapping your fucking guy in the head this week? There you go. Every day. You didn't do it, right? Oh, dude, it drives me nuts. There's no reason. There's no reason. Really? No reason? How about this? You marry a girl, you fall in love, you buy her a house. You go to work every day paying off the house. You come home one day, she's banging the next door neighbor, hands you divorce papers. You got to move out, sleep on a futon, and still pay for that house that she's going to stay in. No reason. I'm not saying you should do it, but there's plenty of fucking reasons in that arc of a story. No, that's the thing. Really is. That's the thing. I hate that saying there's no reason. Obviously, I'm not saying to hit a woman, you know? But saying there's no reason, I think that's crazy. When you say there's no reason, that kills any sort of examination as to how two people ended up at that place. If you say there's no reason, you cut out the build-up, you're just left with the act. How are you going to solve it if you don't figure it out? Look how awkward it is in here right now. I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, how come you can't ask questions? You can only ask questions about what the guy did. You can never ask about the woman. Why is that? Why is that? What is that? What does answer him right mean? What does that mean? Are you the idiot who got up halfway through the special during the bit and you're like walking around like I'm not fucking taping a special here? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Fucking had to ignore all of that and now you're gonna like yell out? And not only that, yell something that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Answer him! Answer him! Every fucking special I do, there's always one. Always right down the fucking middle. Talking about hitting women, sweetheart. And I think you just added another reason. Jesus fucking Christ. I love this. I'm not even in a relationship with her, and she's fucking nagging me. Fucking unbelievable. Look, I understand hitting a woman's a bad thing, okay? Well, how come you can't fucking ask questions? I just don't understand. Like, if I get bit by a rattlesnake, wouldn't you guys have some questions? Right? How did it happen? Did you not see it? Were you fucking with it? How did this snake get so mad it almost killed you? Firemen put out a fire, they don't just drive away afterwards, they sift through the debris. How did it start? Here's an oily rag, right? Look, I realize I'm coming off pretty ignorant right about now. I realize that. Let me extend an olive branch then, okay? I realize that there's some animal guys out there, okay? Horrible guys, you know, have a rough day at the factory, come home, tuna casserole, and just start swinging, all right? I'm not trying to say that those people don't exist. I realize they exist, they should be buried underneath the prison, okay? So if I can admit that, ladies, can you at least admit that every ass kicking doesn't just fall out of the fucking sky? Really? Even hockey has 2 minutes for instigating, right? They understand that some back and forth happened before that shit, you know? You know what it is? Is every case is handled like that Rihanna one, where they just say, the guy's a piece of shit, fuck this guy, blah, 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 send him to jail, and then they never ask anything about that. You know, I'm not saying he should have done it, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying, dude, in your heart of hearts, What do you think was going down before that happened? You think she was just sitting there going, oh my God, Baskin Robbins, you want to get some ice cream? And he fucking, you know? Or do you think maybe they were having some epic end of the relationship fight and some crazy shit was being said? Maybe she was screaming in his ear some crazy female shit like, oh, fuck all your friends, I don't give a fuck. Maybe that's why I sell more albums than you, motherfucker. Right? To be fair, she could have just been sitting there going, I need a tissue. Do you keep those in the glove box? Oh my God, I'll bring my out. I'll bring my out. Now, fuck that, because you know what it is? They never address how women argue, which I think is the core of a lot of that shit. You know? And I got to tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued. But after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. I'm going to tell you something. I'm starting to turn this franchise around. I have begun a winning tradition. This is how they argue, as far as I can tell. All right? If they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. All right? No problem with that. Totally respect it. But here's the thing. If they're wrong, they go rogue. They go off-road. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. Maybe you don't get along with your dad. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement. Totally designed, this desperate Hail Mary attempt to make you so fucking mad, you just call him a cunt. That's what it is. And cunt trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that. Well, that's no reason to call me a cunt. And then that's it. You're in this room now, right? And they won't hook up with you for a couple of days. Who cares? Who cares? You rub one out. Rub one out like a man. It's the champagne of victory.
This is why you can't judge comedians. Do you understand this? Do you understand what the fuck I was saying and how this fucking jackass just heard it? You know? The second it comes out of my mouth, it's not what I said anymore. It goes into your fucking ear hole and gets cut with your whole fucking childhood. Oh, this is what he means. I understand what that's like. I live this fucking isolated life, man. I go on the road, I'm in green rooms, and I just fucking, you know, I'm just by myself all the time. You slowly go fucking crazy. I did a gig recently. I was in Ireland, and I was in the green room by myself, and I went to turn on the light. It was one of those pull switches, and it wound up around itself, looked like a little noose, and I immediately just thought, what if I just stuck my head in there and just turned the lights out, literally and figuratively. Was not thinking about killing myself at all. The second I thought, oh, what if I just fucking did that? And then I looked in the mirror, I caught my eye, and we both laughed. Yeah, had this wonderful little moment with myself. No words needed to be spoken, you know? I remember one night I actually considered taking a bath because I was gonna call my wife. I was on the road, and I was like, I don't want to have a fight with her. I need to relax. What the fuck can I do? And I thought about it. It's like, women take baths, right? They do. It's a very feminine thing. They have a bad week. I just want to decompress, and they just have a soak. And then they're just fine. Next thing you know, they're drinking wine. They're calling friends. I'm so glad you're in my life. And I feel I can get back out there again, right? So I'm literally alone. I start drawing a bath, and the water came all the way up. And at the end of the day, I couldn't fucking do it. There's just no way as a man to take a bath and not think about killing yourself. You know? There's just something about slipping into that coffin-shaped thing. It's like, am I gonna slit my wrist? Am I testifying against the mob? What the fuck am I doing here? I'm a man, I don't take a bath. You take a shower, hose it off, block out your feelings. Keep walking till you drop of a heart attack. Literally, as you're going down, are you okay? I'm fine, I'm fine. My favorite thing about the Black Lives Matter marches was the store windows that would have the plywood over the windows, and then it would say Black Lives Matter on top of the plywood. I just love the duality of that message, you know? It's like, Black Lives Matter, we're all the same, we're all one. Don't burn down my store, you fucking animals. Everybody is welcome in this store. Anyone can come in, one at a time. Follow him. It's just a safe space for everyone. everyone! Every white person likes to lie to themselves that they were alive, 150 years ago, that they would have been working on the Underground Railroad, trying to help slaves escape, right? I would have been one of the good white people. I would have taken time out of my day, risked my life. And the reality is you'd be doing back then exactly what you're doing today. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Maybe a little hashtag, Black Lives Matter. Oh my God, my heart breaks on my L-shaped couch. What kind of a fucking idiot white person refers to themselves as woke? If you actually were socially conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. Once again, doing the Elvis thing, right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the fuck you say it, and some white person heard it like, who is that? Oh my God. Stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends so they know that I'm down. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking say that. Fucking woke. I'm fucking woke. I'm a woke signaler. I fucking had it. I've had it. I support black people in my white apartment on Twitter. That's what I do. I'm fucking here for you. Anyways, by the time this special comes out, another election will have come and gone. It's just, God knows who we picked, and it's another one. They're not gonna fucking talk about anything. The oceans are dying. They just said the Great Barrier Reef is dead. Genetically altered food. There's too many fucking people. I don't even know what, they're just talking about a bunch of shit, Bruce has to drop a deuce. Where's he gonna go? Which bathroom should this guy in? It's like, I don't give a shit. This guy has enough money to literally have a porta potty rickshaw running behind him. How are you going to eliminate a couple billion fucking people? You never think about that shit? They never talk to us about it. They talk about it behind closed doors, right? Bunch of creepy dudes all sitting around some giant table, right? They probably talk about it then, just sitting down after, like, I trust everyone had their fun. Let's get down to the task at hand. There are over 7.5 billion people on the planet. We're running out of fresh water. There won't be enough chicken to feed the others. Does anyone here have any suggestions on how to eliminate the pressures of the undesirables? Yes, you. Number 4. You may speak. Well, what if we, slowly cooked him at the airport? Just throwing it out there. What if you had, a revolving door looking thing? You made them take their shoes off, they got in, and they stood up like that. And you just radiate them from head to toe. Once on the way out, once on the way back. Oh, yes. I like that. I like the sound of that. And how would that work? Would you have it on low at first? Sear them like a tuna steak? They don't understand. You let the children go. We'll use them for slaves later, right? No old people, they'll die soon, just people in the prime of their life. And gradually over the years, you increase it, they start frothing at the mouth. They don't recognize the children. The property comes back to us. Oh. I trust everyone at this table flies private.
It's safe to say, I guess, the pandemic's over. Kinda is, right? Nobody gives a fuck anymore, so basically, it's over, right? They killed all the weak people, The strong people are here to survive. The fatties are gone, the asthmatics, people with lisps, none of them made it. But you guys survived. Yeah, you guys survived.
Yeah, they said it killed a whole bunch of people, but I gotta be honest, have you really noticed? I mean, you drive down the highway, there's still traffic. I thought it was gonna be like, wow! Holy shit, a lot of people died. That's so sad, but fucking awesome. All at the same time. I have a temper. So that's the thing. That's what kind of ruins things. Everything else I do is fine, but I have a fucking temper, and it just ruins shit. And then my wife always says the same thing. She's always just like, I just don't understand. Where did that come from? Where is that coming from? It's you just go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. It's like, first of all, I idle at 75 miles an hour, all right? So don't give me this 0 to 100. I walked into this restaurant at 75. I could hear that guy talking too loud on his cell phone from the fucking parking lot. Yeah, I fucking tried all of this shit, whenever she says that to me, though, I swear to God, I just don't understand, where is this coming from? It actually hurts my feelings when she says that, you know? Because it makes me feel like she's not listening to me. It's like, honey, how many childhood stories do I have to tell you before you follow the breadcrumbs to the absolute lunatic that you married? I gotta do it, though. I gotta work on the temper. I'm gonna do it. You know, I got the kid now, and I don't want to pass it on to her. You know, I have like a demon in my family tree, like this fucking rage. It's just, you know, just keeps following us, and now I got it. I have it so bad, like literally my daughter, she's a little over 2 years old. She's yet to meet me yet, you know? Like the real me. She's seen glimpses of me. I come, hey, how are you? She's seen glimpses of the anger, but I'm able to smooth it over really quickly, like, whoa, Daddy almost snapped his phone in half. But I see it in her face. I can see the way she looks at me. She's starting to put it together like, this dude's a little fucked up, man. This is a little fucked up. I cannot tell you how heartbreaking that is to see from a toddler. Much less your own daughter. I'm like, I gotta end this thing, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go back to therapy, do that fucking bullshit again. Fast forward through all these stories I've told a million times. I gotta do it though. I'm gonna do it for my kid and do it for my wife, and selfishly do it for me. Because, no, I'm gonna tell you why. You're not gonna like the results, miss. This is why I'm gonna do it, because if I actually don't have a temper, like, I just think to myself, like, what could my wife complain to me? Like, what could my wife bitch at me about, right? I fucking crush everything. I do. I take out the trash. Okay? The gate was squeaky the other day. I made sure that was done. You know? I pick up after myself. I like to think I'm a good dad. I work my ass off. I make a great fucking living. Crush all of that. All she has on me is who I am as a person. That's it. Yeah, if I could just not be who I was when she met me, I think I'd have a shot, you know?
Help. I'm telling you, I'm done with all these chains. I'm done with all of them. You can't get any help. You can never get anybody on the phone. And if you actually get somebody on the phone, you know, nobody can help, but everybody understands. You know, and they're always sorry. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Yes, I understand. I understand. Well, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know why they transfer you to me. I'm sorry. Well, I would be upset too, sir. I understand. I totally understand, and I'm sorry. And there's nothing I can do, right? And the whole time, all they're doing is trying to get you to curse so you hang up. No, so they can hang up on you. That's all they're doing. They're trying to get you to curse so so they can just hang up on you, you know? So they gradually, but if you don't curse, they can't hang up on you. You can just keep torturing them. Well, why is that? Well, you just keep it going around and around. So then what they do is then they try to suddenly make it your fault. Well, sir, did you know your plane was going to be late? Well, why didn't you call ahead? Well, I didn't call ahead because I was on a fucking airplane. Sir, I don't need to listen to that. Click. Fuck! Right? Then you got to start all over again.
Realize, man, I've been real empty lately. I never go to church, man. I gotta be honest, I hate church. Always couldn't stand it when I was growing up. Yeah, there's a couple other people going to hell with me. Yeah, there you go. No. You know what it is? I grew up Catholic. I used to sit there in the crowd, you know, listening to the priest. The priests, they were like preaching. They didn't even sound like they believed it. They'd just be up there. This is the gospel, according to Luke. All right. I'm not saying it happened.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, all right? I'm just saying what Luke said. Now, according to Luke, the dude got out of the boat. He started walking across the water. I don't know, it sounded crazy to me. I don't know if he was a drinker. You know, don't get mad at me. I'm just repeating what Luke said. What Luke said. No, I definitely believe in a higher power, but I think when people just get too into religion, they get crazy. Like, I like people when they get so into it that they actually like argue like what color Jesus is. You know what I mean? Which is hilarious. That's like one of the most unholy things you could ever do, right? They'll sit there and be like, you know, Jesus, he's for everybody. Rich people, poor people, he doesn't care. He's just a great spirit. Everything's great. Oh yeah, what color is he? He's white. He looks like me. We're the chosen people, you know? Or some of my black friends try to convince me that Jesus was black. You know, he had that nappy hair, all this stuff, you know? It's the dumbest thing to argue about. I really don't give a shit what color Jesus is. I just don't want him to be mad at me when he comes back. That's my deal. I don't care what he is. When he comes back on that 7-headed horse, chopping people's heads off, whatever the hell it is. I just want when he rides by me, you know, just give me one of these. Make me feel good about my life, you know?
I find a lot of that racial stuff like fascinating. You know, like the different rules of like who gets in trouble, who doesn't. Like I've noticed black people have the genius to put the curse word after they say the race of the person, where white dudes, we always put it in front. And if we would just make that little adjustment, we could save so many careers, so many jobs could be saved in the white community if we would just put it after. You never notice that in conversation? You hear a black guy being like, man, I was standing there, this Asian motherfucker came in, he starts talking about, you don't even hear it. You're just sitting there, oh, what did this Asian motherfucker do? I would love to hear the rest of this story, right? Dude, I would tell the exact same story, right? I'm standing there, right? This fucking Asian comes in, right? Everybody's all like, whoa, hey, easy, Jesus, dude. What year is it, you know? It's like, dude, I just said what he said. I just preempted the fuck. That's all I did. He suggested he's hooking up with people's mothers. I'm not even doing that. It's just a quick, I got it out of the way. Just how I talk. This fucking guy came in, he's fucking Asian. Dude, are you wearing sandals? Jesus Christ. Oh my God, sandals with... Middle of December. Yeah, fuck it. You're one of those people. Man, my feet don't get cold. Man, they don't get cold. You know, there's always that one guy, big ski parker in shorts. Hey, my legs don't get cold. Legs don't get cold. That's like his only hope of hooking up with somebody. Like maybe that's interesting to mate with. That'll make a strong baby. His legs don't get cold. I don't know what it is. Plenty of blood for the organs. That had nothing to do with you. That had to do with me being on the road for 4 months. That's all it is.
Never address how women argue, which I think is a core of a lot of that shit. You know? And I gotta tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued. But after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm starting to turn this franchise around. I have begun a winning tradition. This is how they argue, as far as I can tell. All right? If they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. All right? No problem with that. Totally respect it. But here's the thing. If they're wrong, they go rogue. They go off-road. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. Maybe you don't get along with your dad. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement. Totally designed, this desperate Hail Mary attempt to make you so fucking mad, you just call him a cunt. That's what it is. And cunt trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that. Well, that's no reason to call me a cunt. And then that's it. You're in this room now, right? My girl knows my big thing is, my big fear in life is to be that dude who grows old, you know, grows old alone, has like that basement apartment, just screaming up at the younger couple, turn it down! That isn't music! So I noticed that anytime she was losing a fight, out of nowhere, she'd just be like, well, that's why you're just gonna grow old and be alone. Then I'd lose my shit. The next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen washing dishes for the 9th fucking time in a row. This is what the argument was about. I was so right. What happened? So if you learn anything from my ignorance tonight, just know this. Next time you're in a battle with your beautiful woman, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, and they start out of nowhere, okay? You're winning, and they just start saying that crazy shit out of nowhere. Just know in that moment you've won the fight, okay? All right? Don't get mad. Bob and weave, slip all of that shit. Maybe because you got a little dick. Just let that slide. Stay in the pocket of the argument. Okay? It's over. The argument is over. You've won. Just take a knee and run out the clock. All right? Yes. Lean on the ropes. Let them punch themselves out. And then in the end, you throw their psychology right back at them. Well, maybe we should discuss it later when you calm down. And they won't hook up with you for a couple of days. Who cares? Who cares? You rub one out. Rub one out like a man. It's the champagne of victory. Oh, so I've learned. I finally learned to, like, keep my cool in my relationship. Age where everybody I know is getting married. People, let me ask you a question. Why the hell do people keep getting married? You know what I mean? Isn't anybody looking at the stats? What's it like? 3 out of 4 marriages go right down the drain now? People, if you were going skydiving and they told you 3 out of 4 parachutes weren't going to open, you'd be like, yo, forget it, I'm not going. I don't like those odds. I'm just kidding, people. You know what? I'll get married. I'll get married the day I see a married guy who actually, like, looks happy. You know what I mean? Because every time you see a married dude, anytime you ask them what it's like being married, they always tell you it's good, but they have a look on their face like they have, like, an appendicitis. Oh, it's hilarious. You're like, yeah, you know, so what's it like being married? They're like, you know, it's good, it's good. No, it's good, you know, it's a lot of work, but, you know, it's good. You know, when you meet that right person and, you know, it starts to click, you know, it's a good thing. I enjoy it. You'll meet that person, you know when you know. I can't feel my legs. No, you know when you know. It's a good thing. Just... I love women, though. This is my deal. I love women, but you know what I'm finding? I'm not compatible with them. You know? I'm serious. Women have, like, too much energy for me. That's what I've noticed, you know? Like, you can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just, like, see that open day. They're like, oh, my God, let's go fill it up with some stuff. No, and then they just come at you with one horrible idea after another. Horrible ideas like, you want to make some sandwiches and go to the park? No, every one of their ideas involves, like, walking around, like, looking at stuff. It's almost like they're trying to wear you down. After, like, 2 or 3 stores, you're, like, leaning on stuff. I don't care. Just buy something. I don't care. You know what the worst one is? You ever get that one? You want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, no! But you can't say that. You got to keep them happy, right? So what do? You're like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Why would you want to sleep in on a Sunday when you can go pay $18 for eggs? Now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. Then we can sit around and listen to your friends have moronic conversations about the eggs, like, is that pesto? Is that pesto in your omelet? Oh, it's asparagus. It's asparagus. I thought it was pesto. Oh, you just want to flip the whole table over and just run out of there.
Lately, she loves to watch the Oprah Winfrey Show, and I love to watch her watch the Oprah Show. And then I wait for Oprah to say something that I don't agree with, and then I take it out on my girlfriend, because I'm a jerk. So, Oprah brings out her first guest, right? She gives her this huge intro. She's written a book, she's been in a movie, and she does the most difficult job on the planet. She's a mother. So immediately, I look at my girlfriend, I'm like, really? Being a mother is the most difficult job on the planet? How many moms died on ice road truckers last season? You know, any moms get washed overboard on Deadliest Catch? No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but which job would you rather have?
You want to scoop crabs up off the bottom of the ocean, hanging off some rusty tugboat, catching that trap to the back of your head every couple of weeks? Or you want to hang out in the sunshine with a couple of rugrats? You know, you can send them to bed anytime you want on some trumped up charges. Yeah. Trumped up charges, yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July as a redhead, you know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they do it? Oh, the way they push that stroller with the round wheels. Yeah, and the baby in there. It's the most difficult job on the planet. Going to war pinned down by a sniper. What a joke. It's a joke. You ever burp a baby and forget to put that towel up there? Oh, there's another shirt you gotta wash, right? Oh yeah, lift with your knees and put it in that machine that does it for you. People, any job you can do in your pajamas is not difficult. Sure, it's draining, but come on, man. Being a stay-at-home mom, that's like my dream job. No boss, no time card, no taxes. You're off the grid. Hanging out all day, making grilled cheese sandwiches. Giving a puppet show, you dress like a dragon. Then some other adult comes home and gives you money. Yeah.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to get catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. What, do you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades.
I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, so I'm becoming totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's why, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die. And I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him, some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, goddamn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. There's so much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate and on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. Because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, all right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak, right? I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. When you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof. You don't got to hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. And I thought I had my body under control. And she got like to right about there. And then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. We could still trip her.
His wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then he goes, hey, I'm actually taking care of it. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair, redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I gonna do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I gonna do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, how she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports and then I banged Tom Brady and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball, I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that? They do. That'll do something. That'll change things. How? How the is that going to change anything? Do you know what the president makes a year? The president makes $400 grand a year. That's it. He's trying to keep billionaires in line, making $400 grand a year. That's all he makes. He makes less than some people blogging on the internet. The president should have you money, right? He shouldn't be sitting there with his pockets turned and saying, I need your help to get me the job, right? What do you guys all donate to the campaign? Is that what it is?
I'll tell you the only thing I like about my computer is I really enjoy spell check. No, you know what I like about spell check? You don't have to be close to getting the word right. All you gotta do is just get it like somewhere like within the ballpark of the word. It's almost like your computer can just start guessing like, geez, I don't know. Dinosaur? You know, you're sitting there like an idiot like, I wasn't trying to spell dinosaur. So now what does your computer do? It starts throwing out like every D word it can possibly think of. Okay, how about dictionary? Diary, any of this stuff looks familiar. Are we moving towards the goal or away from it? Doesn't spell a word so bad though, your spell check has absolutely no clue what that is. What do you end up getting? You end up getting like a question mark. You got $1 million worth of technology, you just looking back at you like, just like, you got me, buddy! Which is pretty amazing, because I have all the words. Yeah, and that doesn't look like any of them. I can't even make a guess that's so screwed up. Would you like pass out and whack your head off the keyboard? Please tell me you're not that stupid.
No, they're relentless. They never stop. And there's no reason for them to stop. You know why? Because you can't hit them. That's what it is. Think about that. There's no physical ramifications for being an asshole when you're a woman. Do you know how much of a dick I would be if it was socially unacceptable to kick the shit out of me? Dude, I would be trashing everybody I saw. See some big muscle-bound guy, hey, I go to the fucking gym, slap his protein shake out of his hand, hey, go fuck yourself, right? But I can't do that, right? Every guy has a line, and if I cross the line, I get blasted in the face, totally acceptable, right? But with women, there's no line. They can just keep fucking, just keep coming at you. Dude, they can do stuff worthy of like a suplex, and they'll just stand right next to it. They don't even have the decency to run away. They'll like light your clothes on fire. They're like, ta-da, I did that shit. Oh yeah. And I was so proud of my work, I stuck around to see your reaction. I invited a couple of friends to heckle you as you try to stomp it out with your bare feet. Oh yeah, they'll like key your car, sign their name. Susan did this shit. And you're sitting like, now can I at least put her in a headlock, give her a couple of. Now I feel bad for women that you never get to feel that. You guys should do it to each other, you know, just every once in a while. Just haul off and just blast one of your friends in the face, you know. It's good for you. No, I know, yeah, I know. It hurts, you know, you can't feel your nose, your ears are ringing, but I'm telling you, man, it clears your head. And it causes you to, like, evaluate yourself. I swear to God, anytime I ever got punched in the face, I was always pissed, but at some point during the drive home, I'd always be thinking, like, you know, I was kind of being a dick back there, you know? When I really think about it, I probably shouldn't have said that last shit, you know? And you like, make that adjustment. This guy's an asshole. I can't believe he's just gonna say this kind of.
So this lady down at the zoo, she taught this gorilla how to do sign language, okay? And I don't just mean like hello and goodbye, like literally phrases. This thing could like talk about its emotions. They were actually conversing. The gorilla's sitting there talking to her. Oh my God, you look a little upset today. She's like, oh, you know, I'm kind of sad. And they're just talking. So immediately, like, my brain just went fucking crazy. I was like, oh my God, she's talking to a gorilla. I love gorillas. Who doesn't want to talk to a gorilla? And then without thinking that my wife is sleeping, I just blurted out, ask it how much it can bench. Ask it how much it can bench. My wife like pops up. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, look at this. She's talking to a gorilla. And we both just got sucked into this thing, right? So long story short, she's sitting there, she's talking to this gorilla, and one day she decides to get a little kitten, little kitty cat, right? And immediately I'm thinking like, don't get it a cat. It's a gorilla. It's gonna twist the thing's head off, throw the body over there, play with the head for a while, sniffing it and stuff, and then later it's gonna walk over and set the head down next to the body and wonder why the whole thing's not getting up again. Because it's a fucking gorilla. It's a wild animal. Wild animals don't have pets, right? It's kill or be killed out there. That's it. They don't have little parakeets on their shoulders and shit. But it was the exact opposite. She gives it this little kitten, and the thing immediately understood that it was a baby, and this like parental thing came over. It was so like gentle and filled with joy, and just it was like beautiful, right? And then they just understood that it loved this kitten, and they started using it as like a teaching tool, right? So every night they take the cat back, all right? And then the next day they come in, and if the gorilla learned its phrases, it got to play with the kitten. They use it as a motivational tool. So the gorilla's like vocabulary started going through the roof. All right? So to cut to the chase, one night they take the cat home. Somehow the little kitten gets out. It got hit by a car and it died. Yeah, that cat you never met died. I'm sorry for your loss. I know you knew it, all of it, for fucking 20 seconds. You know? I don't know if it was dead instantly, like if it drove right over its head and that was it. Or maybe it just hit the back legs and it tried to crawl away, but it was like stuck to the road, and it was meowing out, and it could see its breath. And right before it lost consciousness, the rats came in, and it was just screaming, and it had such cute little paws. It was like little socks trying to get it off. I don't know what happened, but you seem so fucking concerned about this kitten. Figure I'd throw out a couple of theories. More concerned about the kitten than all the Hitler shit, by the way. More of a reaction. Overreaction, that's fine. Every crowd's a little bit different. It's not the point of the story, okay? The point of the story was now this lady had to go down to the zoo. She had to tell the gorilla that the kitten was dead, right? So she comes back down to the zoo, and the gorilla's all amped up. This is like its favorite part of the day. Its mind is engaged, and it sees its little friend. And at this point, its vocabulary is like crazy now. And the lady shows up, the gorilla's all amped up, and just looks at her just like, oh, shit! What's up? Yeah! Right? Now, I can't do sign language, so you're gonna have to bear with me through the rest of this bit. I'm gonna do the best I can, all right? So the thing's like, what's up? Yeah! All right? But the zookeeper lady, she has like, you know, just sitting there all sad, you know, trying to think how she's gonna tell it, right? And the gorilla picked up on the vibe. All right, she's kind of like, hello. Right? And all of a sudden the gorilla's energy just comes all down. She just starts looking at the lady like, what's wrong with you? Is there something that I need to know?
Huh? So the lady's sitting there. She's like, Jesus. Well, the kitty cat, it got hit by a car, and it's fucking dead.